Hi guys, in this video we're going to look at quick steps on how we can activate our intuition and how we can use it. Okay, so first let's answer a very important question. Why do we need to activate our intuition? It's actually the piece of information that we believe in 100% and we have no doubt that it's happening and is going to happen. That's it. And if you look at the process, even when it's happening at this very single moment that we get the information, there's no time for doubt. Even if we start doubting if that's going to happen, we're actually already seeing how it's happening. So it's more of an idea that we're accepting what's happening and understand what's happening, moreover than what we're actually predicting. Because when we believe in something, we naturally follow that path, we follow that lead, we follow that idea. And if we start working on an idea, in any case, there are going to be results in that specific direction. So us receiving an intuitive message is actually us believing 100% in something about that message. So it's just summarized so well that we actually don't have any doubt what it's about. And naturally, if we get an idea and we work on it, we're going to achieve something and it's going to manifest in some way and it's going to start existing. This is when we're right. So it's more of a case that we believe in something and we're working on it and we're working in that direction instead of actually predicting what's going to happen, right? Because mostly if we have ideas, we can do two things. We can deflect them by saying that that's not for us, we don't want that, or we ignore them naturally and we don't act on them. This is the case where there's no prediction, nothing happens. But in the case that we believe in them and we actually start looking for them and delving into them, there's always something happening. And the idea here is that once we think of something, it's already happening. And it's our choice if we're going to believe that those results are part of that specific thought process or idea or whatever it is, or we're going to neglect them and go in the opposite direction, in which case we don't actually feel that synchronicity. Whereas when it happens, we feel ecstatic because it's actually happening and we can actually see it. And in that sense, it turns out that it's better to believe in things instead of not believing in them, because that's how we manifest results. Naturally, once we set our mind into something, once we start thinking in that direction, we're going to augment our actions in a way that are actually going to reflect that mindset, that way of thinking. So in any case, we're going to do something that's going to be reflective of that idea. And once we have those results, we can easily see them and use them. Again, the time that we believe in something and we choose to follow it and we follow it through is the time that we're right. When we don't, when we neglect it, nothing happens, and that's just it. It kind of dies out. So intuition is kind of accepting the possibilities of what can happen and us starting to work in that direction, moreover than actually predicting what's going to happen. Think about how strong our belief is in order to manifest something like that. And the idea here is that in order to make it stronger, it's advisable that we accept what's happening all around us instead of just blocking it and saying that it's not what we wanted. Because if we stick to what we wanted or how we visualized it, we're actually applying a very narrow perspective of what the results are supposed to be. Whereas we might have so big a volume of results, and we're just going to miss out because we just want to see that specific thing that we're looking for. And in that case, we usually are left unhappy, dissatisfied, because it's not happening the way that we want it to. Whereas the question here is actually, do we need to see the exact same thing? Well, I wouldn't say so, because if we are adaptive enough, we can actually see how things are happening around us, and how the specific events, people, interactions, whatever it is, results, are actually helping us in that direction. And once we achieve that point of view of accepting what's happening, and I want to emphasize on accepting, because that's what allows us to understand what's actually around us and how we can work with it. If we don't accept it, we kind of repel it, and it becomes harder and harder, because if we continue on that road, we're going to start repelling the same things over and over again until we just receive what we're looking for. And that's when life becomes hard, because we don't want to repel things, we just want to manifest our results. So accepting it is kind of easier because there's no resistance, and it's actually, when we're accepting it, we can easily see how we can work with whatever it is, whatever is happening, so that we can continue forward. And in that sense, we're actually pushing the process forward instead of blocking it and trying again, and blocking it again, and trying again, and blocking it again. So we're actually blocking ourselves from our own development in order to see what we want to see, instead of just looking into what's happening and using it. This is where accepting is so important. And another part of it, accepting, is coming out of our comfort zone. Why do we talk about coming out of our comfort zone again? Because accepting the things in a different way is actually coming out of our comfort zone. Because we usually have our mindset on a specific idea, on a specific vision, let's say. And if we stick to that, like we said, we're going to block ourselves. But it actually takes training and self-awareness to realize what our thoughts are, and looking at what's happening around us is something that's actually helping us. And it kind of really delved into my mind when I realized that it's very deep, and every time that I become angry, I usually have the reaction of knocking myself on the head and talking to myself. Like, why are you looking at it that way? This is what's happening. Use it. You know that everything can be helpful, and it really can. And this is how we actually manifest more and more results, by using what we have instead of looking for what we want and keeping to that specific idea. Because if we want to use what we have, we're going to be looking at how we can use them to produce the results that we're looking for. But we're actually using them instead of rejecting them. And this is an important moment, because when there's applications, there's development. And however far we push, that much further we're going to go. And it's more like pushing ourselves more than pushing the environment to change around us. This is another perspective that can help us understand that we're responsible for everything around us, and that we are in full power to change, adapt, and learn from what's happening around us instead of having to control it. What do you think of the video? Did you like it? Did it become clear that we're responsible for our own intuition and the fabrics of our future that we created ourselves? If you liked it, put a thumbs up, put your comments below so that I know if this was clear enough, or if I should rethink the way that I'm representing this information. It doesn't really matter, as long as there's feedback, everything's okay. I will work on making the information clearer. If you find it helpful and you think that it can be useful for other people, remember to share it on the social media with friends, whoever and however you decide, so that we can reach more people and help them understand how they can activate their intuition. If you're interested to know of what the process is of when we activate our intuition and how our third eye works, then I would advise that you subscribe to this channel so that you can follow up on when the videos are being uploaded. This is it for now. Goodbye.